Yeah, Cheryl. So did you watch the subsequent live that happened after that? Because hey, Judo, yeah, I was the comments that came on that post pissed me off to such a degree that I went live fairly quickly. What's up, Just Nias? And had something to say about that. It kept giving you. You saw part of it earlier today. Thanks, Yaya Jenny. I finished cutting my hair finally. It only took me what, several days. Yeah, Brandy, I was pissed. So this is the thing that happens, and let me just say this. Oh, thanks, Tootie. I appreciate it. So let me just tell you guys this. So my a friend of mine who is a brilliant individual, who is a forensic psychologist. You watch the replay, Carla. Facebook and YouTube folks, I see you over here. Make sure that you speak because I can't see you when you join when I'm using Restream. What's up, Mimi? Hey, Holly, good to see you. So let me just say, so this morning, yeah, Tina, you did this morning. Yeah, you did. Oh, thanks, Steffi G. I tried to put a little something into it today. How about that? Hey, Valerie, good to see you. Maple Leaf, good to see you as well. You did your hair. I love that. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, I needed a little whatever. So this weekend was a lot of self care. So it was cleaning my house and getting all the laundry done, and like all the things, and then finally finishing cutting my hair because it's been in the process for several days. Thanks, Jai. I appreciate that. And then it's also been, hey, Evelyn, good to see you. And then it's also been like, kind of taking care of the grands and doing all the things. And hey, Deborah, good to see you. So, but I wanted to make sure that I went live, and I plan to be live for a little bit this evening because I haven't been live all weekend since Friday, as a matter of fact. And so there's some things that I want to talk about, and I look revived from relieved or from earlier today. Yeah, I was pissed this morning, right? So, a little pick you up. Love that, Lynn. So yeah, Carol, I was pissed. So like real talk. So here's what happens to me. And a forensic psychologist friend of mine told me that he's actually, because I said, I don't know what is wrong with me. I said, it's like when something happens that just really gets me. If it's something that just really I find to be offensive or I don't know, against humanity or whatever, right? I told him, I said, this thing happens and it is like I have to go live. Like I have to go live and get it out and get it addressed like right there in that moment. And I said, it's like I can't not do it. Yeah. I see, baby. It looks amazing. And he said this to me. He said, appreciate the cat. He said, let me just say this. He said, I'm glad that you have that as an outlet. He said, because number one, not only, is your voice needed, he said, but second, he said, if you did not have that as an outlet, as a way to express, you might break. And I thought, you know what? You might be right. You might be right. Thank you for the corgi. And it's a true thing, right? So I literally have started to recognize this, that there's this thing about me that it's not even like I don't even care. Like if 5 people are watching or 500 people are watching, it doesn't matter. I need to speak to the thing and say what needs to be said. Yep, Cheryl, I let it go on air, 100%. And I think that one of the things that's different about me than maybe, right, Elizabeth Ritter, authentic. It's just who I am. It's just, oh, thanks, one average. It's just who I am. It's just how I feel. It's what I believe. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me if anybody agrees with me, disagrees with me, is with me, isn't with me. Like I said today on that Facebook Live, I said, I will literally stand on this hill 10 toes down and die alone. Like I don't give a shit. Like I will stand right here because I know that I'm on the right side of things. And you know what I want people to stop saying? I want people to stop saying I'm on the right side of history. You're on the right side of the present moment. Thanks, Stacey D. Stop saying, oh, I'm going to be on the right side of history. No, you're on the right side of today. If you are standing up for human beings and people's rights and all of that, you are on the right side of today. Fuck history. because I don't know what they're going to write in the history books, right? We know that history belongs to the victor, and I don't really know what the history books are going to say, but I do know that I don't give a shit what the history books will say. I know that I am on the right side of today. 100%. I don't care. And nobody has to like it. You don't got to get, I just know that, you know what I mean? And I think that it's important that we all kind of get in tune with that. It's not about being on the right side of history. Who cares what history says about you? Who gives a shit what history says about you? Because I know some fantastic people, some revolutionary, badass women that history talks a lot of shit about. Don't you? Right. Exactly, Cobble. So, for those of you guys who don't follow me on Facebook, okay, I'll kind of give you a little background, and it has to do with this little theme of tonight. So, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, it's right here. If you're on TikTok, it's right here. You might think that it's crazy. Appreciate you, Titus, that I'm saying thank you, MAGA, Trump, Elon, and the GOP. And I'll tell you why I'm saying thank you to them. I think that a lot of people are finding out just how much we want rights for people. I think that people are figuring out and they're finding out just how much they do want a democracy. I think people are, what's up, Gemini? Hey, Aline. Hey, Martin. Right? So, yeah, so I can say thank you to those folks because here's the thing. The more that you attack people's rights, the more that you attack individual people, the more that you attack people's livelihoods, the more that you take all and try to take things away from people, the more that we are waking up and saying, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. You don't get to have this country. You don't get to have my mom and my uncle's Social Security. You don't get to. So this is my thing. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I love that, Linda. And listen, don't minimize it. Don't say we had about 500 people at our little old rally yesterday. You had 500 people. And those 500 people are going to go talk to another 500 people. Think about that. Even if just one of them talks to someone else in their network, that's another 5. Right? Now, what if each of them talks to 5? Now you got 25. You see what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Don't minimize the work. I love that. You all had 1,000 plus in suburban New Jersey. So I'm going to share with you all what happened today. Appreciate you. Louisiana showed up. I love that too. So this is what I'm saying. Do y'all understand why I'm saying thank you to MAGA? Thank you to Trump. Thank you to Elon. Thank you to the GOP. You know why I'm saying that? Is because you have woken people up. You have let people know that democracy is not something that you can just put in a crock pot and let it go. It's not. Right? It's not. It's not something, hey, Nicole, good to see you. It's not something that just will automatically take care of itself. And so I appreciate them. Thanks, Jess. I appreciate that, right? Oh, thanks. Thanks, Gigi. Matter of fact, I need to get another episode out today. Right? Thanks, Sunshine to Peach. Literally, exactly. So that's the other thing. So let me just say this. So, yep, listen, Florida, Districts 1 and District 6, it's time to vote. It's time to bring it home. And can I just make a point before we talk about what happened earlier today? Let me make a point. The fact that Donald Trump has had to change his nominees and Stefanik isn't going anywhere tells you that, no worries, Ethan, I just got live. So listen, yeah, T, I am. Listen, the fact that Trump has had to change his had to change his deal and say, nah, Stefanik's got to stay so we can keep the majority. Number one, it tells you they are not untouchable. It tells you they know the people are not here for it. They are scared and they see that things are changing. They see that people are absolutely Yeah, the Wisconsin Supreme Court election is ridiculously important as well. Let me just say this to you all, right? So, Lynn, everybody says that, hey, Trisha, everybody says, things like democracy is not a spectator sport. Let me just say this. Oh my God, how can I say this? So, democracy. Um, so, superstar stroke survivors, let me just say this. The people are turning it around. And the reason why I say that is not to diminish God. So, for those of you guys on Facebook and YouTube, superstar stroke survivors said God is turning it around. And here's what I want to say is, while people may get their direction and their courage and their strength or whatever from the God that they believe in, I think it's important to recognize that that God gave people free will, and people don't have to be vessels for goodness. People don't have to do the work. What's up, Sandy? So I think it's important. One of the things that gets me is I don't like it. I don't like it when people diminish our work and what we do and what we choose as human beings. We don't have to choose goodness. We don't have to choose goodness and positivity and to do the work and to help. We don't have to choose it. So when you do choose it, celebrate the fact that you are choosing it. What's up, poet? You follow me on that? And the other reason why I like to be careful when we say things like God is turning things around, I respect the fact that there are people that don't believe in God. I respect the fact that there are people that are agnostic. I respect the fact that there are people that have varying faiths, and that whomever God is to some people isn't the same as who God is to other people. And so I want to be careful that we don't exclude people, right? If you believe that God is doing it, then hooray for you. What I know is that without us, nothing else can be done. You know what I mean? I know that you do. I'm just clarifying for everybody because I have to be mindful of all the people that are here, right? All the people that are watching and participating. And it's important that we don't exclude people, that we don't push people away, that we don't. It takes every single person. And we got a lot of work to do. Right? So I like to kind of say that because I think the default is to go, oh, God's turning it around. But listen, if you mean that from a Christian perspective, let me just say this. If you mean that from a Christian perspective, we are the vessel. We are the vessels, right? What's up, Sandy? And so it is through us that the work gets done. So we are turning it around. Right. See, Brandy, that's the thing. And so I want to acknowledge everyone's participation in the work, no matter what you believe, who you believe in, what you don't believe in. I just respect people's faith. Oh, I know you didn't mean any harm. I know you didn't mean any harm at all. And I'm not fussing. At least I hope you don't take it that way. I want to kind of level set for everyone. Okay. Right. And efforts. So let me just say this. For those of you guys who it's a lot, right? I need a damn massage. Okay. So let me just say this. So here's what happened this morning. If you were not on my Facebook, I'll share with you what happened. And then it goes along with the conversation that we're going to have tonight. Okay. So, batching. What's batching, Linda? I don't know what batching is. What's batching? Okay. So let me just say this. So I put up a meme earlier today, right? A little meme that's going around. And that meme was, it had police in front of a Tesla. Thank you, Jesse. But it had me. Yeah, it was spicy, Sandy. It had a meme with police in front of Teslas, and then underneath it were a bunch of children holding hands. And the meme simply said this. It said, if only America protected children as much as it protects Teslas. Okay. And that's the meme that I put up. And when I put it up, somebody commented, and the comment that they made said, I wouldn't condone violence of any sort, no matter what, no matter what you believe, I wouldn't support, um, what did it say? I wouldn't support damaging people's property or something to that effect, right? And then it said I wouldn't support violence or chaos, no matter what you believe, what politics you believe in, or no matter what party it is. And I immediately commented and said, please share me where in this post it condones violence or damaging property. You can't, because it doesn't. It simply says this: wouldn't it be great if this was a country that protected its children as much as we protect corporations, their products, and their profit? So here's what we won't do. What we won't do is project, pivot, or deflect. We won't do that on this post. We won't add something to it that it clearly doesn't say. And it pissed me off. It pissed me off because people always have to add that something. Well, what about if you don't shut the absolute fuck up and stop adding to? This is why we cannot have nice things, because you want to add something too. So I went live and said something to that effect, right? I went live and I just said, what a dumbass comment to make. Now, I'm not calling you a dumbass, but what I am saying is this: don't add to it. Nobody said, yes, go tear some shit up. Nobody said that. What I will say is this. I don't condone violence. I'm personally never going out. I mean, never going out to burn down buildings, tear nothing up. Like, it's just not, that's not me. And at the very same time, let me say this. At the very same time, I 100% understand how some people have gotten to that place. I absolutely 100%, I got you, Titus. I 100% understand how there are some people that think if the only way to get back at this billionaire who is taking away things from children and elderly people and sick people is to go after his beloved cars. I don't advocate for it. I don't say, yeah, go do that. I do understand it. I do understand that people might say this is the only way that we can get back at this person. Right? And that's not the same thing as condoning it. Right? What I will say is this: when you say I'm not gonna support violence and chaos, I want you to remember that the current party, the people that are in the administration, were sitting outside of Congress with a damn noose hanging, calling for the unaliving of the Vice President of the United States of America. When you tell me that you don't want to support violence, I want you to remember that there were people sitting outside of Congress with a damn noose calling for the unaliving of the Vice President of the United States of America. So when you say to me, we shouldn't condone violence and chaos, I think you're full of shit. I think you're full of shit. I don't believe you. I don't, whatever you were just, it's just, no, I don't believe you. You are in fact lying. No. So let's just be clear about that. Okay. Yeah. Not just Gretchen Whitmer, but what, Black Pepper? It was several of the governors, right? So, right, Tricia, they absolutely were. And this is my thing: is the people who are supposedly this is supposed to be the most patriotic party, the September 11th never forget, but they want you to forget January 6th. Oh, I know she didn't. So, Sandy, so here's where it went. And let me just say this, because I know that many of you guys are watching on Facebook. And I have reached a place where I am no longer stepping over your stuff. I'm not going to step over your bigotry, your misogyny, your sexism, your racism, your aggressive ignorance, your lies, um, your disinformation, your misinformation. I'm no longer going to, I'm just not. And it doesn't matter to me if we are related by blood or mud. It doesn't matter to me how you know me. It doesn't matter to me if you sat outside of Holston Valley Medical Center with me for 257 days. It does not matter. If what you are saying and what you are doing, right, um, is is dangerous to democracy, and to my grandchildren and to me, and all of that, I am 100% gonna call the thing a thing. And so here's what I would recommend for folks. Okay, if you do not want me to call you out and point out your bigoted statements that support systemic racism, then I would recommend highly that you not say bigoted statements that support systemic racism. If you do not want me to point out a bigoted statement that you might make that indicates something about the value or worth of a woman is contingent upon her ability to have children, and that should not be up to her, do not say things like that, because I'm going to call a thing a thing, beloveds. All right. And if that makes you angry with me, I'm okay with that. If that makes you unfollow me, I'm okay with that. If that makes you say whatever, right? I'm okay with that. So Marnie, you know Ukas are friendly, right? You all understand this at this point. I had someone say this to me today, and it's not the first time I've heard it. This was from a nurse back home in Northeast Tennessee. And this and her response to me was, I've always been your supporter. I don't know why you're being so, I don't know why you're so angry. I said, I'm angry because of the comment that you made. But let me just say this, and I'm going to be very, very clear for everyone. There's a difference between supporting me and supporting the work that I do for you. Yes, baby.
I'm bathing off in mom's house.
You're what?
I'm bathing in the mom's house.
Okay.
And I'll take it off from my baby.
Yeah, your band-aid come off at mom's house.
Yeah.
That's okay. So yeah, she is, Elizabeth. Thanks. So I want to be clear. There's a difference between supporting me and supporting the work and the advocacy that I do that benefits you. And I have never confused the two. I've never confused the two. I have always understood that there were people who praised me and said they adored me because I was fighting ballot health, who would have nothing to do with me when it comes to LGBTQIA rights, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, when it comes to religious freedom, when it comes to, all of those things. I have always been aware of that. Mimi, your sissy's sleeping. And the reason why I still did and still do the work that I do regarding ballot health is because your support of me specifically is not contingent. What I do for you is not contingent upon your support of me individually. Because here's what I know about the way that the universe and the way that energy works and the way that life works, right? Here's the way that it works. I do what is placed on my heart to do for whomever it is placed. Whoever benefits is just a byproduct, y'all. Listen, whoever benefits is just a byproduct, right? God love my heart. I'm just an advocate of people. And if you happen to be one of those people, then cool, right? But that's it. And the reason why that is so great is my willingness to do the work is always consistent because it's not dependent upon people. It's not dependent upon people. And how many times have you guys heard me? So if you're on TikTok, how many times have you all heard me say you must fall in love with the work? Because if your motivation is external, if your motivation is what other people say about you, what other people think about you, what other people want you to do, right? Then that shit is temporary. It will flux, it will ebb and flow, right? Yeah, multiple times because it is just falling in love with the work. Yeah, you're good, Marnie. By the way, are you safe? Right? So the reason why I wanted to come with this message for today, this thank you, MAGA, Trump, Elon, and the GOP. What's up, Jinping? Is because without you, okay, so appreciate you, Sandy. So you know how the other day we were talking about Wayne Dyer and his book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And we were talking about paradoxical unity and how one thing must exist in order for the other to be present. Without darkness, you would not know how great light is, right? Remember? Okay. Without this fuckery right here, without the hatefulness, without the bigotry, without the appreciate you guys, without those things, there are many people in this country and around the world that would not know how important it is to vote. They wouldn't know how important it is that they want to do the work, right? They wouldn't know that how important and how fragile democracy is. Right. Only when it's darkest can we see the stars. So yeah, today I give a ton of gratitude. I choose to sit in gratitude, and that's where I'm going to birth my energy from. That's where I'm going to birth my work from, and my attitude from, and my action from. I'm in the process right now of writing a little bill. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull an ALEC for you guys. Are you ready? When I finish the bill, I'm going to leave it blank so that you can just send it to your representatives to put their states in. Okay. I'm going to pull an ALEC. Do y'all know what ALEC is? ALEC? That is the American Legislative Education Council. And that bill is going to be about automatic voter registration at the age of 18. Automatic voter registration at the age of 18, right? And a free ID. Thank you, baby. And I think that we should get as many states as possible to pass it. I think we should get as many states as possible. Yeah, it's crazy that it's not already a thing, right? And I think we should start to think about how many of these other bills like that should we be doing? Could we be doing? There's a few that I can think of, but that one's a big one, isn't it? Automatic voter registration at the age of 18. No, no. It happens automatically anyway when you're 18, right? But it puts them absolutely puts them on the record. It puts them on the record. And why would this be a thing that you wouldn't want for people? Why would this be a thing that you wouldn't want for people? Yes, but there are a lot of states, Carol, where it's not that way. So one of the other things that I'm doing is I've done a little Google form for you guys. It'll be in the link tree tomorrow. And all I'm going to ask you to do is what you're comfortable with. I need you to put your name, your email address, and your state. And if you're comfortable, you would have the option of putting your county. Why would I do that? Because that's how we organize. Okay. That's how we organize. So now I can see, what if someone doesn't want to be a part of that? A part of what, Colin Burns? What if someone doesn't want to be a part of what? They just don't go vote. That's it. They just don't go vote. If someone doesn't want to vote, then they don't have to vote. That's it. I saw something that happened. But one of the reasons why this is important, is so when it comes time to organize, right? Then we will be able to see how many people we have in a particular state. We'll be able to see how many we have in a particular county, right? And then that's another way for us to get people together. Next on the list. So you all remember that if you are in the Discord, we have a spreadsheet that we started where we were looking at races that are being run unopposed. We need to update that. We need to update the spreadsheets where races are being run unopposed. And we need to start looking at who's going to run in those places. These are all the things that need to happen. And my thing is, those need to happen. Yeah, the Discord is getting so full of info. It is. But these are all things that we can start to do that can make a tremendous difference. And that I want to see us kind of get to and make happen. So, yeah, it's time to be about the business. All right. So, hold on a second. You mentioned a while back that Dems need to get out more. What do you think about AOC and Sanders? What do I think about them? You mean them going to hold rallies? The Discord is in my link tree, folks. If you are on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok, in my profile is a link tree. At the very top of that link tree, you're going to see like a little game controller icon. That is the link to the Discord. That's how you get there. Okay. So, here's what I'm gonna say. I think that AOC and well, so it's not just them two. So AOC and Bernie are out there pulling in crowds. Elizabeth Warren is about to be in Nashville. I don't know if you all saw that. Did you all see that? Yeah, he is Uga. He is. But Elizabeth Warren is about to be in Nashville, right? Yeah, Jackie Brown. You have me on too. I love that, Jen. I don't know the date right now because it's on my Facebook, right? But all the things, right? Yeah, LAF guys. CJ, are you saying it's April 5th? Yeah, I don't have it pulled up in front of me right now, right? But you can absolutely check it out. Elizabeth Warren, Nashville. Just Google it, right? So this is what I'm saying. I think this is great that Dems are getting out there. Here's what I also think. I think that these conversations have to be about, yeah, I know Walt and Beto are out as well. I listened to Beto earlier today. So let me tell y'all, do y'all want to know when I really liked Beto? It was back in 2018. And here's what I loved. When I realized that I really that I really liked Beto O'Rourke it was at one of his rallies that he said, it might've been like after he lost and he dropped the F-bomb. And I was like, oh, Beto's my people. Yeah, he dropped an F-bomb and I was like, okay, settle down because I know you're getting sleepy. Here, do you want to tell him good night so you can lay down?
Good night.
And say night night. Look, you're down there too. You're in both places. Look at that. Look. Ouch, you got your finger in my earring. Look, they said good night. Say good night.
Good night.
Shh, not so loud. Your sister's sleeping. Okay, get down. Look. I have a Joker hat. Oh, you have a Minnie Mouse bow. Oh, see, they said good night. All right, let me finish. Okay, good girl. All right. So, she is so cute. Appreciate you guys. So here's the thing. So here's what happened earlier today. Yeah, I know, Rebecca, I know. Oh, holy geez. Yes, Sandy, I will. Okay. So let me say this to you guys, a couple of things. Sweet baby Jesus. Oh, okay. Hold on, YouTube and Facebook. I'm coming. I'm resetting the goal over here on TikTok. Okay, done. Yes, ma'am. Huh? That's okay. Go lay down and I'll help you in a minute, okay? I know you didn't. All right, so let me say, yeah, 6 pounds, 6 ounce, baby Jesus. You've heard me say those things. All right, so things that I do want to talk about, right? Is in addition to these Democrats being out and about, I think that as they get out and about, what's up, Kelberg? They have to stop talking about I don't know, truth be told. I don't know. I haven't seen Omega on in a while. I don't know. So let me say this. God, there's so much happening in here. So listen, when these Democrats are out here, in my opinion, we have to stop talking so much about Trump and Elon. What I really would like to see us talk about. So did you all see there's a video of the wife of one of the soldiers who was involved in the stop, Mila. A wife from one of the soldiers who was involved in the Yemen attacks, right? And you saw her, right? So here's my thing. Why isn't she on somebody's stage yet? Why isn't she on somebody's stage yet? Why isn't somebody meeting with her, talking with her? Why isn't her? I need her being amplified. She needs to be on somebody's podcast. 100%. These are the moments that I think we are missing because she's waiting for your podcast. She's waiting for my podcast. I don't know her name. And I don't know that I have the resources to find her name, but I know a bunch of them do, right? Yeah, her husband is on active duty, 100%. So let's just see. Oh, okay, guys, if you see the trolls and the bots today, let's just get rid of them. Let's do that. I don't know. Oh, what I can tell you is this. Hold on one second. Folks, I have info that I need to get to you all. Okay, awesome. Hold on. Because I asked for some info for you and it was provided to me. So give me a second. I need I'm not going to do it tonight until I read the entire thing. Tomorrow, when I go live, I'm going to give you information specifically around Trump's AG secretary and about $1 billion that is being taken from preschools and senior citizens in order to reimburse billionaires and foreign investors for his tariffs. So big corporate agriculture companies are getting a shit ton of money. So on Yeah. So listen. So I'll just go ahead and kind of give you the gist of it. Okay. So listen. And I've actually got somebody who's coming on who's going to join me live to talk about this week. Okay. So listen. So Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins announced a $10 billion bailout of big AG, corporate agriculture, to protect them from Trump's trade war. Okay. The Emergency Commodity Assistance Program, which is ECAP, was created by Biden and a Democratic Congress, and it funds producers of commodity crops, including corn, soybeans, wheat, who've experienced economic loss due to increased input cost and commodity prices. Well, this comes days after the secretary announced a March 7 freeze on $1 billion of funding for local schools. Good night, baby. So listen to this. The Agriculture Secretary announced on March 7th that there was a freeze on $1 billion of funding for local schools, food pantries, and senior citizens to buy food from farmers in their communities because they called them non-essential. I'm going to say it again. Are y'all ready? So the Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, announced that they were freezing $1 billion of funding for local schools, food pantries. Send it to me, somebody in Discord, and senior centers to buy food from farmers in their communities because they called those investments, quote unquote, non-essential. But then they announced a $10 billion bailout of corporate agriculture organizations to protect them from the trade war. The poor are non-essential, right, Rebecca Little Bird? So I guess, yes. Hey, Tanya. So this is one of the things that I would like to ask people who are Trump supporters. What do you think about this? Is this something that you think is a good thing? Or do you agree with this? Are you proud of this? What are your thoughts? That we take $1 billion away from schools, senior centers, and food pantries, but we've got $10 billion for corporations. So let's just be clear. This $1 billion was a new source of nutritious food rather than ultra processed food, right? Farmers are getting stiffed because they already invested in meeting the requirements of their signed federal contracts. Some of the farmers have heard that they have 60. They only had 60 days left on their contracts. Others heard that they wouldn't receive reimbursements for any purchases that were made after January 19th. So this is from Barn Raising Media, right? Others had produce that was ready to be delivered to food banks when they received the news that the food banks would not be able to pay for the shipments. $660 million was for the Local Food for Schools Cooperative Agreement Program, LFS. And that's what supported schools and childcare facilities. And then $420 million was for the Local Food Purchase Assistance Cooperative Agreement Program, which is LFPA, which supports food banks and other food assistance organizations. I really would like to know. I really would love to hear from somebody that supports Trump, this administration, Elon Musk, these cuts. And what I would ask you, and I would really love to talk to you if you also claim to be Christian. If you claim to be a Christian and you support this, I would love to have a conversation with you. And the reason I would love to have a conversation with you is I would like to know how taking food away from the elderly, the poor, and children and giving 10 times that amount of money to corporations supports the the commands of Christ? This is what I want to know. Like, legitimately, honestly, these are things that I want to know. Because you can't convince me that it does. And if you open your mouth and you say, we have blah, 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 $1 trillion in debt, I'm going to say, shut the fuck up. Here's why. If you ask me if Jesus would choose between debt and feeding poor people, or making rich people pay more in taxes and feeding children and the elderly and poor, guess who Jesus is going to pick? There's a reason the Bible talks about the camel, the eye of a needle, and the camel. Right? There's a reason. Right? Barbara Francis, I think some people said it and they're going to send it to me in Discord. I appreciate y'all. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Now, first, let me ask you this. How many of you guys actually heard about this prior to tonight? How many of you guys had heard about this $1 billion cut prior to tonight? No? So, okay. So y'all know that I do a lot of, I've worked with an organization called ruralorganizing.org. Okay. And I'm from small town Tennessee. And so I've done a lot of stuff over the last several years around rural organizing. So I'm on a call on Fridays where we discuss certain things that aren't getting the attention that they should get, that people don't know about, that people should know about. And that's where this information came from. And so I specifically said, send me the info and I will talk about it on my live. And so I'm going to talk about it today. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I've got someone who's coming on with me this week to talk about this in greater detail and some of the other things. Because there's information that I don't think that people are getting that would be essential for them, right? Because many of Trump's people live in these places and are impacted by these things, right? So let me give it to you again, okay? So how do we join the Discord? Hey, Diana, you go to my link tree. So my link tree is on my TikTok profile, YouTube, and Facebook. And at the top of the Discord, at the top of the link tree is like a little game controller. That is the link to join the Discord. All right. So I'm going to give it to you again. So here's two things that happened within 11 days of each other. On March the 7th, Trump's agriculture secretary, Brooke Rollins, announced a freeze of $1 billion of funding for local schools. Appreciate you, Sandy, for gifting that subscription. For local schools, food pantries, and senior centers to buy food from farmers in their community because that was called non-essential. The investment was called non-essential by Trump's AG secretary. Yeah, you might have to copy it and open in a different browser sometimes. Okay. So $660 million was for the LFS program, which is the Local Food for Schools Cooperative Agreement Program. What's up, Phantom? Okay. And that supported schools and childcare centers. What, baby? Let me see. Yeah, you're good. And then 420 million was for the LFPA program, which is the Local Food Purchase Assistance Cooperative Agreement. So, Mark, if you're having trouble with the Discord link, I recommend copying and pasting it into a different browser. What's up, Colleen? Oh, thanks, Sandy, for gifting Sherry. And it is a subwave, folks. So I don't know. It went by really fast. I think 2 more subs in 13 minutes, I think, to meet the wave. All right. So how about I do this? I'm going to put the links into the link tree right now. How about I do that? Can I do that for you guys? I'm going to put the links in the link tree right now. Give me 1 second so that you all can see the articles that that I have to reference what we're talking about. 1 second. My link tree said, "Girl, you got too much shit in here." I'm gonna also try to break it down because this link tree is pretty extensive, and to make a second one, longest and best link tree. It is long. What? Listen, this is how you know people be on my link tree because now they want me to add a sponsor link to my link tree. And if somebody signs up, they'll pay me. No thanks, Linktree. Okay. All right. So here, I'm going to put this in here. This is the first one. And let me get the second link. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. I need to make sure that I'm giving you the right. Okay, it's in there now. So let me see. Let me hit save for it. Oh my God, come on, Linktree, be nice to me. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys, it's taking a minute to load because it's just there's just that many. Let's see if it works. Okay, it's there. Oh, now it's there twice. I didn't mean to put it there twice. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Max, I'm loading it right now. Yeah, so it's a link. I don't know how many documents are in there, Sandy, to be honest. I really don't. But so it's from Barn Raising Media, and it says USDA cancels $1 billion in funding that lets schools and food banks buy local food. And so there's a couple of points that that we pulled out that's on this Google sheet that I have already, but you can read it and share directly from here if you want, right? So what's crazy about this is that, you hear RFK, what was the bailout part? Okay, so hold on, I'll tell you that part. Gimme the second. I'll put the second one in there. Oh my Jesus. All right, so oh Lord, I got to find the right one to put in here because I need to. You got money on your hand? Give me a second, sis.
You got money in your hand.
Oh, I see that. That's awesome, babe. I love that. I'm trying to find the second article. They put the same link in here twice. So give me a second. Is this dated? So this is the 17th. So on the 18th is when they announced the $10 billion bailout. So this was actually done. The Emergency Commodity Assistance Program, which was created by Biden and a Democratic Congress, it funds producers of commodity crops like corn and soybeans and wheat, all of that, right? So that's okay. Did you copy our stuff because April 5th TikTok is going away? Don't. Why did Mom? Can we unpin that? Why did we pin that? Yeah, let's don't do that. And stop. So, right, nobody knows the fate of TikTok. Yeah, listen, nobody knows the fate of TikTok, and I'm honest to God not worried about it. I'm literally not worried about it. Um, literally, Trump said just yesterday he will extend the ban again if a deal isn't finalized by the deadline. Like, I'm not worried about it. Here's what I know, folks, is there's a shit ton of money in TikTok. And for whatever reason, they'll figure out a way to keep it. And I said that to be the first go around, and I stand by it. Right. So I'm not worried about it. He literally said, quote, if it's not finished, it's not a big deal. We'll just extend it. So I'm just not right. It's too much capitalism to let it go away. So I'm just not worried about it. Yeah. So if he wants to do another executive order, then he can and he will. So I just don't. Right. I just don't. I'm not. I see. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just not. Okay. So
I want some paper on my face.
you want what?
I want some my people on my face.
You want to show? Oh. Well, hold on, because she wants to show the people her dress. So she's playing this little model dress to impress game, and so she wanted you to see her dress. It's so pretty. Thank you. All right, sissy, you got to lay down. All right, so listen, they think that you all belong to them. Just so y'all know, Bella be wanting to show them artwork. Mila's wants to show you whatever. Hey, not so loud, please. Yeah, but they really do. They really do think y'all belong to them. When Mila sees, if I'm just scrolling on TikTok now, yeah. So Linda, there's two sides to the Discord. One is the one side to Discord is the non-subscriber side. The other side is the free side. Thank you, Linda, for bringing that up. So, yes, Sandy, I will. Jesus, I feel very ADD right now. Like there's too many things happening, and I keep trying to focus. But Linda just reminded me that we have a training coming up, a workshop. So let me tell you guys. So I do free workshop trainings for folks for different things, right? Mark, I already told you it's in the link tree for the Discord. That's it. Is Mark, are you real? I think you're real. It's in the link tree. That's all you got to do. It's in the link tree. Something else that's also in the link tree that I need to tell you guys about really quickly. I feel like we're all over the purse. You're real. Okay, I thought so, but I thought I told you about it just a second ago. Okay, sometimes if you click it, it will give you an error. So you need to copy it and open it in a different browser. And worst case scenario is manually type it in. Like that's the worst case scenario, but it's in there. So, but I need to tell you all about this Thursday. Okay. So this Thursday, you will see that there is a workshop on hidden biases. So we are doing, if you are a subscriber, okay, if you are a subscriber, we are starting our book club. And there's 70 spots left. Perfect. So where's the book? Where'd I put the book? You hear Mila laughing at me. Hold on a second. Because I put the book somewhere. The book is called Blind Spot. Give me 1 second. Hey, not so loud, please. Sissy. Not so loud. Oh, here it is. All right, here we go. So listen. So the book is blind spot, hidden biases of good people. We are doing a workshop specifically around our biases. And the reason why we are is let me tell you all my approach to this. Okay. My approach to politics is that it is a two-pronged approach. If you RSVP'd, you should have Max. If you signed up and you RSVP'd, it comes automatically from Calendly, and it'll be in there. You got your book today. I love that. Is it on Audible? I would imagine it is this Thursday. It is Thursday. You guys are full of questions. Give me a second. Let me pull it up so I can tell it to you. Shoo-wee. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I don't want to get rid of that. That's the bill thing. Do I want to get rid of this? I don't. I do not that. 1 second, folks. That's data. I can get rid of that. All right, here we go. All right, so you got yours yesterday, Deborah. Love that. Okay, so listen. So this Thursday at 6:30 p.m., there is this workshop. It's Hidden Biases is at 6:30 p.m. There are 69 spots left. All right. Do we need to get you a bigger link tree? No. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have to. I don't know. It's organized, but I feel like I need a second one. But I don't know. I don't know, Sandy. The answer to that question is I don't know. Okay, but it's there. So here's the thing. Two things are going to happen. It's Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is this Thursday. And so we're going to start to talk about our biases and how they show up, whether you know them or you don't know them, and you don't know that they're back there, kind of running in the background, and how they show up, and how those biases end up impacting us when it comes to voting, when it comes to organizing, when it comes to how we have communication and conversations with each other. I'm going to tell you right now, most of us are 100% biased when it comes to MAGA, Trump folks, can I, thanks, Linda. I'll tell you this. Can I tell y'all one of my biases that I have? No, you do not have to have the book for the training. No, the book is for the book club. But let me just tell y'all this. Okay. So, but these are called hidden biases, Turk, because everybody has biases, right? Everybody does. But we also have hidden biases that people don't know about. But I'll tell you one of mine straight up that I do know about. So whenever if I see your social media profile and the first things you have to say are things like this: conservative, Christian, mom of three, Christian, conservative, Jesus Christ above all, like that kind of stuff. The minute I see those, I'm like, they not living a Christ-like. They not living Christ-like. I'm just telling y'all, automatically I have a prejudgment. So if you are subscribers, you don't have to sign up for the book club thing. It's already going to be on the subscriber side of the house. What's up, Rockin' One Nana? Right? And so that is this Sunday. Okay. Thanks for subscribing, Cynthia. Okay. So, right. Because if you have to broadcast, so like, what does the Bible talk about? About don't be like those other folks. Pray when you pray in private. I'm supposed to be able to judge you by your fruit, not by your words. And if you have to tell me you're a Christian, you're probably not. You follow me? If you have to tell me, think about it like you think about like dating. Yes, baby. Yeah, what about your sister and you? Yeah? Yes, I'm going to snuggle with you. Yes, I'm going to snuggle with you and your sister. She said, are you going to snuggle with you and your sister, with me and my sister? Okay, quit. All right, watch out. Okay. Yeah, no, Edward, same thing. I believe if someone has to say I'm a follower of Christ, you're probably not. And the reason is just very simple, right? Is I should be able to know you by your fruit, not by your profile. It's the same thing when I think about like dating. If a guy has to say, "Oh, I'm a good guy," you're probably not. You're probably not. Redwood, I don't know. Phantom will have to tell you what the channel is. But yeah, so and I will put the link to it in Discord. Yeah, soon. So this is my thing, right? If a man says I'm an alpha, bleh, that just makes me vomit. When I hear a man say I'm an alpha male, I think, and this is just me being honest, I think abusive, I think misogynist, I think I think not somebody I'd ever want to date. Like, yeah, that's what I think. Just saying, right? Real talk. Um, yeah, I'm just saying. Okay, so right, baby carrots, all the things, right? Right. So I see you. Be careful, okay? All right, so let me get back on track. Let me reel us in. Let me reel us in. Let me reel us in, folks. Okay. I'm bringing everybody back to center for a second. In the link tree, there are two links that I'm going to tell you about right now. The first one is the little game controller at the very top. That is how you join the Discord. If you're a subscriber, you'll answer some questions and you'll go to the subscriber side of Discord where you can answer some questions and you'll get access to all the subscriber stuff. There is a non subscriber side of Discord where you still have access to information that's in the link tree, to a general chat section that's in there, to all the things. It's just not the subscribers. So there's two sides to Discord. Now, that is the game controller in the link tree. The next link that I'm going to offer you to tell you about is it's the second link on the page. It says workshop hidden biases. That is a workshop that I am leading this Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, Phantom. Right? And we are going to be talking about hidden biases, how they impact us, how they show up, how they lead us even when we don't know they are. And why is that important for us to recognize and dig into right now? I'll tell you why. As we begin to have conversations with people who share opposing views, we have to 100% be able to recognize what are our biases. What are they? Right? And how do they show up? And what do they look like? And all the things, right? So, hey, Reggie, come on up. Let's talk. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I think this is really cool you got here.
What is it exactly that you think is really cool?
I'm just exploring your own bias. I just think that's a good idea for everybody.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's a good idea for everybody or just for the left?
For everybody, but I think the left is a little sensitive right now after the election, and it's like really necessary.
So, what do you think sensitivity has to do with bias?
I think right now a lot of people are triggered by literally every single thing that they see, everything in the media, and it's like causing mental harm.
But what does that have to do with bias?
I think the bias is helping the triggers. It's like because of that bias, you're not as likely to read into what you're seeing. You just kind of react. And I think those reactions are causing harm.
So can you share with me how your bias? Okay, can you share with me what's your definition of bias?
Just kind of how you view things, kind of like the lens that you're looking at things through, like the Elon thing. Puts his hand over his heart, does the wave. Everybody starts crying for months.
Well, that's not a bias. That's an interpretation. No, that's not a bias. No, a bias is no. That's an interpretation of a gesture. That's not the same thing as having a bias.
Based on your bias.
No. not based on your bias. So
Yeah.
so share with me again,
Not here
because
anybody else
because
has done the
okay,
exact
so
same thing.
Reggie, because it's really important that we use terminology the right way when we want to have productive conversations, right? So bias,
I'm using it correctly.
so bias is something that you develop by collecting bits of information from different groups of people, based on your environment and your experiences, right? So that leads to a certain bias that people have. Now, bias does not have anything to do with how you necessarily interpret a gesture, right? Bias is just like kind of, like I said, it's just little bits of information that you get about different groups of people.
Right, and so you guys' bias towards Trump and towards the right, you guys have been pushed further and further and further away from reality with your biases, and now it's to a point where
Well, what biases do you speak of?
don't even make any sense.
Well, right now, I mean, forgive me, but you're not making a lot of sense.
Okay, do you agree that he did a Nazi salute?
Now listen, people seem to know who you are, which tells me that you know TikTok language.
Okay, whatever TikTok appropriate thing you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now, Elon Musk is not the subject of the conversation.
Given an example.
Right, but that has nothing to do with bias, right? So if we're going to talk about bias, then we're going to use it in the right context, right? So somebody's opinion about a gesture isn't about bias or not bias. It's about their interpretation of a gesture, right? And individuals get to make their own interpretations. We're talking about, so hold on a second. Hold on. We are specifically talking about the hidden biases, right? That's the book. Are you familiar with this book at all?
I haven't read it.
Okay. So this book is called Blind Spot, The Hidden Biases of Good People. And so, hold on, sis, you get down for me, okay? And so what we're talking about is how in all individuals, people have blind spots. They have hidden biases that they're not aware are there. So like there's actually something called blind sight. Are you familiar with it?
Right, yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, so share with me what blind sight is.
When you think you're seeing something, but it's based on your bias, you're not seeing what's actually there.
No, that's not what blind sight is. Blind sight is something that it's when you literally don't see something. Like if I were to put a hammer in front of your face and you don't see the hammer, but then I tell you to reach for the hammer and you accurately can reach for it and grab it, not being able to see it, that's what's called blind sight. And so what happens is, say what?
Was that different from what I said?
Yeah, because it's not anything close to what you said. Like I'm actually talking about a person being blind but still being able to reach for a thing that is there, but they don't see it. That's blind sight, which is not what you said.
And reach for it shows me that you can see it.
No, you're literally blind. So like, okay, so I don't know if you're familiar. This book was written by physicians. Hold on a second. Okay, give me 1 second. So this book was written by physicians. And so let me see if I can kind of. Okay, give me 1 second. I got you. Give me 1 second and I will. I just got to turn to the right page and then I will, sis. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got to turn the right page because I didn't know I was going to be talking about this right now. Here it is. So there's A much more dramatic form of blindness is a pathological condition called blind sight, which involves damage to the brain's visual cortex. So patients with this particular damage to the visual cortex, they have a striking behavior of accurately reaching for and grasping an object that's placed in front of them, even while they have no conscious visual experience of the object. So that's blind sight. It's like an actual medical. So that's what
we're not talking about in cognitive bias or psychology.
Okay, so again, let me see if I can take this. So the reason, so what bias shares, so what hidden bias shares with blind sight is that both of these two things give you the ability. So you have something that is guiding your action, even though you can't see it. So in this particular case, with blind sight, there's actual damage to the visual cortex, right? So this person has something that is guiding them to the object in front of them, but they have no conscious visual awareness of it. And that is the same way that hidden bias shows up in human beings. There's no conscious awareness. It's not like having a prejudice. So like there are people who might, so what you're describing about Elon Musk may very well be a prejudice. There's a prejudgment that people have about Elon Musk, and there's a prejudgment that people might have about Donald Trump that would lead them to believe that the gesture he made was that, right? That's a prejudice, but prejudice and bias are not the same thing.
Right. So my relevance here is that we know what all salutes come from the head above the eye, right? We know that. And you guys can see that. However, you're still claiming.
No, all salutes do not come from the head above the eye.
Okay. The salute that we're referring to that you don't want me to say the name is, that comes from the head. It comes from above the eye, right? We do, you know this. You know it.
No.
You don't understand that.
No. Have you ever been in the military?
Have you ever been in the German military?
Have you ever been in the military?
Have you ever been in the German military in the early 30s and 40s?
Have you been in the military, period?
We know what the salute looks like.
Have you been in the military, period? That's the question.
It's not relevant.
So you're pivoting great, but let's come back. Let's come back to the original. Don't talk over me, please. It's just rude.
Talking over me, I answered your question.
Okay, so well, you didn't, but so let's go all the way back, okay? Because what we are talking about in here is bias. You said that bias has to do with Musk, right? But what we're talking about right now is bias, which is different than prejudice, which are not the same thing.
I literally gave you an example.
No, you didn't. You gave an example of prejudice.
Giving you an example of cognitive bias and a blind spot in your cognitive bias that's allowing you.
We're not talking. Nobody said
inaccurately based on your preconceived notions that are untrue.
Okay, so we're not discussing cognitive bias. That's not what we're talking about.
I made a statement about bias. You invited me up here. You asked me about my statement about bias.
Right, because your statement was, oh, this would be a great thing for the left to do. And my question to you was, why would it just be a good thing for the left? And you said it's because the left is triggered. And I said, well, can you share with me what bias has to do with being triggered?
That would mean that we are talking about bias.
Can you share with me again what bias has to do with whether people are triggered or not triggered? Because the two things are not related.
Well, these preconceived notions that you guys have are allowing you to interpret something as something different what it is, which is because of your bias. It's due to your bias, you're being triggered.
No.
That's my opinion. You can disagree with
Well,
that. That's okay.
no, but what I'm telling you is that what you're talking about is not what you're talking about is not the hidden biases. I mean, I don't know the guy. Other people seem to know him. I don't know him. Right? I don't know him. So, I think that well, a couple observations that I would make is that yeah, I know, guys, just relax. A couple of observations that I would make is you speak in a lot of generalities, right? So what exactly, if you're going to define the left, who is the left exactly?
People mad that Trump lost.
Well, no, there are a lot of people that are mad that you said mad that he lost.
Yes.
So the left is mad that Trump lost?
The people that are mad that they lost to Trump.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. So you believe that the left are people that are mad because Trump won the election. Is that what you think?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't believe that there's anyone else. So you don't believe that there's anyone else that is mad that Donald Trump is the president. You don't think there's anybody else that is, I won't say mad, but you won't say that you think that only people that are on the left are people that are upset with Trump. So if someone's not mad that Trump won, does that mean they're not on the left?
So obviously there's 300 million adult Americans. There's going to be some people that fall outside of that. Clearly, obviously, I think you know this already. So I think that you even asking this is kind of silly.
So again, the question is, so if someone is not mad because Donald Trump won, does that mean they're not on the left?
It's mostly leftists that are mad.
So how many leftists do you know?
A lot.
And they're all mad?
Yes, very mad.
You sound biased, Red.
Sure.
You
don't have biases.
Yeah, I mean, well, you just sound very biased. Yeah, he is, Lynn Brown, definitely. Yeah. So is your bias triggering you, maybe?
No, I'm good.
I mean, you seem triggered enough to have come in alive that you believe to be by people on the left.
I made a statement. You invited me up here.
I mean, it's triggered you enough. It's triggered you enough to be on TikTok going into the lives of people you believe to be on the left. So it seems like that people being on the left is triggering enough to you to have you want to go around TikTok and jump into their rooms.
Are you claiming that you're not the left?
Yeah, I'm not the left. Left is a direction.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Danny. That's my name. I actually don't belong to any political party.
We met before during the election. You were supporting Harris. We had a conversation.
I can support a candidate and not belong to the Democratic Party. You do know that, right? Okay, well, so supporting Kamala Harris as a candidate doesn't mean you're on the left. It just means that's the candidate you support.
I agree, but it's a pretty good indicator of how you.
Well, technically, I couldn't be on the left according to your definition, because at the time that you and I met prior to the election, Donald Trump had not won. Therefore, I was not mad. If I was not mad that Donald Trump won the election, then according to your definition, I wasn't on the left. Do you have a different definition? Like, do you have a pre-election definition of left?
No, I think that was really good. It's working quite well right now.
Which one?
Just people that are mad that they lost to Trump.
Okay, but we're not talking about people right now. We're talking about me. And you said that I was on the left, and I said, no, my name is Danny. I'm not on the left. And you said, but you said that I supported Kamala Harris, so that I'm on the left. But that's not the requirement for being on the left.
It seems to be working quite well now. So it's
Which one? Which one?
I just don't believe that you're not on the left.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I mean, I don't believe that you really give a shit about this conversation. So,
out of your own mouth,
there you go.
told me this, so
what did I tell you exactly out of my own mouth? What did I tell you exactly? Because I'll tell you what I did not say. What I did not say.
3 talking points on the left. You told me that you support healthcare. We both agreed. I thought that would be a good idea if we could do it in a manageable way. We agreed on that.
So what does that have to do with the left?
That is a leftist policy.
It is not. I know a ton of Republicans who absolutely agree that we need to have some form of universal health care, even if it's universal health care that includes a private option.
Right, and I would be one of them. That's what we agree
on. Well, then that's not a leftist thing. Are you on the left? Is that what you're telling me?
I am on the left, yes. I would say I'm a moderate to the left, but you guys have shifted a little far away from me. You guys are crying about all the things that Obama supported.
I don't think that could you share with me who you guys is and who's crying?
The left, everybody.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We're in this live. There's quite a few of us. Nobody's in here crying. Nobody's in here mad. Nobody's in here yelling. We're literally talking about several different things, right? One of them is the path to relationships and conversations when it comes to building community and reconnecting in order to create a country that we all desire to live in. The other path is knowing about policies and changes and things that are happening and how they impact our local communities. So like, I don't understand where you hear crying and mad, because it's not anything that's here.
Not here in this specific line, but there's 20 of them. You guys want to burn down Teslas and all this crazy.
Nobody's well. So here's the thing. It sounds like your bias about other lives has brought you in here, and it has you talking about things that aren't relevant at all to me or this live, because those lives have you triggered.
They are the people you vote with.
Who do you vote with? I don't vote with them. When I go in the voting booth, I'm by myself.
Supporting Kamala and the DNC.
But again, I vote when I go in the voting booth. I go by myself.
Yeah, and you check those boxes that identify with the leftist policies.
I check boxes that identify with supporting humanity and human beings. Now, if you're saying that leftist policies support humanity and human beings, then that's just a coincidence that just happens to be so. Here's the thing. If you had a Republican candidate whose policies actually supported humanity and human beings, then I would support them. See, it's about the actual policy, not the person.
Even mentioning policy is a leftist idealism. Like,
I mean, well, for God's sake, I hope that everyone learns to learn about policy.
You're not a leftist while explaining being a leftist.
No, I'm talking. No, well, you sound a little triggered. Just saying, like, yeah. So policy should be. Because here's where I would beg to differ, is because, like, I think that talking policy is what all Americans should be doing when we talk about voting, right?
There's a lot of people, mainly called conservatives and Republicans, that can see that, we have over 237,000 pages of the United States codes, not even including the Code of Federal Regulations or case law. And a lot of people think that's enough policies. We need to get rid of some. And those people are on the right. And the people who say we need more policies,
we have what?
More government are the people on the left, which you're saying.
You think we have what?
We are.
You think we have what?
We have over 237,000 pages of United States code.
Are you talking about case law?
Oh, I'm talking about the United States code.
So United States Code is law. That's case law. That's law.
No, case law
USC
refers to the judiciary, acts of the judiciary, the Supreme Court. United States Code is our U.S. code, what's been codified in our rules and regulations of the United States.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I'm just. Mm. What purpose do you think the codes serve as? What do you think
They create
because
rules and
because you
regulations.
do realize that the code. Okay, tell me what you think it is again.
They create the rules and regulations, which 237,000 is too many. It doesn't include the Code of Federal Regulations.
For what?
It doesn't include your statutes and ordinances. That's too much. And we could do to get rid of some. Sorry.
So you're a lawyer?
I don't work for a firm.
That's not what I asked you. So you're a lawyer?
I answered the question.
No, you didn't. Are you a lawyer?
I do not work for a firm.
That's not what I asked you. Are you a lawyer?
Sure, if you want me to be a lawyer, if that's
I don't want you to be anything. I'm just asking you, are you a lawyer?
And I'm telling you that I do not work for the American Bar Association or any firm underneath it.
I didn't ask if you worked for the bar. I asked if you're a lawyer. You can't answer that question?
Answered it. If you don't understand, that's on you.
No, it's not that I don't understand. It's that it's not an answer. It's a yes or no question.
I don't know if you know what a lawyer is, and I don't know if you understand how law works. I'm assuming you don't because you don't understand that is the answer.
Okay. So, are you trying to say you didn't pass the bar?
Yes, that is what I'm trying to say. I did not take the bar.
Okay, you didn't take the bar, but you went to law school.
Sure. I don't understand the Inquisition here. Like, what is this, a deposition?
Okay. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to say about bias?
No, I think this is a good thing. I'm glad you're doing it. I hope you'll be open to people from both sides learning their biases. I think it's a good thing to understand.
You hope that I'll be open to all people learning their biases?
I hope that you can host these lives and help people understand their biases. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, we're actually not doing it on the live. It's actually a workshop.
Even better.
I know. Thanks, Allie. Yeah. You want to come, Red?
I'm down. Is there a fee?
No. Nope. I do them for free.
I'd like to pay you for your time. I don't like.
That's okay. I don't need it. Thanks, though. You can gift me if you want to pay me for my time.
Okay, I'll gift you. I'll get on my other account, send you a gift.
Cool.
When's the workshop?
It's this Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in my link tree for you to RSVP to attend.
I'm about to do it, so don't cuss me out when I get there.
I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm leading the workshop. It's not like it's open to everyone. There's 58 spots left.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Well, you're free to, like I said, you're free to come. Why would I not want people to come and talk about their hidden biases and discover them? Why would I not want that for everyone? See, the difference between me and someone like yourself, Red, is you've spent the majority of this conversation saying things like, you guys, the left, right? Very divisive, very not not community inspiring, shall we say, right? And that's the difference between me and you is I've always been open to talking to absolutely anyone. I also talk in terms of facts, right? You're free to have your opinion about whatever you want, and I'm going to respect your right to have your opinion. But your opinion in and of itself might not be respected if it's not rooted and backed by fact, right? So that's why.
237,000 pages is too much policy.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. But so you do understand that it's not 270,000 pages of policy. Those are laws. Laws are different than policy. And what the Trump administration is doing right now isn't changing those laws because only Congress can do that. So, right. So what you see the Trump administration doing right now has nothing to do with those 270,000 pages. Unless Congress changes them, they will be exactly the same number they are before he got in office and after he leaves office, because the president doesn't change the law. So you're complaining about the pages, but the pages are going to be the pages.
It's almost true. We're a little closer to that with the Chevron deference being overturned, but a lot of these guidelines have been acting as law for literally my whole life, at least.
Yeah. So again, I know the boss, I know, but you know, like I said, those 270,000 pages are going to be there because he can't change them. Period. So, yeah. So, national protest. I brought you up. I know that you wanted me to mention a couple of things. So we have been talking about April 1st and April 1st being the District 1 and District 6 special elections down in Florida. We also know that the Wisconsin Supreme Court is a big deal going on. I think PA just won there too. What I normally do, and you share with me if you think that this is the right thing, if you want to add something different, you can. But I share with people that no matter where they live, they can 100% go to mobilize.us and mobilize.us and be able to phone bank from wherever they are, no matter where they live. Did you want to add something else to it?
Absolutely. I wanted to first say thank you so much for what you do here. You are a champion.
Well, thank you.
Several friends of mine said to come check you out, and I love you. I love you. As much as a gay man can love you, I love you.
Love that.
I've been told by my friend Glitzy that you are also a veteran, so I want to thank you for your service as well. And she is absolutely correct. You can also phone bank through the Florida Democratic Party. We only have 24 hours to do this. We're looking good, but we want to just put our foots to the metal and really drive this home. And I want to say, Danny, what an honor to be with you. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate the time and to be with you on your platform. And I love you. And I am looking forward to joining you with your workshop.
Yay!
I'll be there. So
love that.
I'm going to send you all the good love I can. I've joined your team.
Love that.
Thank you again. You are just amazing. And I'm going to jump down. So again, thank you. And I love you.
Yeah,
have a great day.
Appreciate it. Love you back. Appreciate it very much. So yeah, folks, we talk a lot about ways that we can do this. And my personal belief, and if you've been with me for a while, you know that I think that we are on a parallel journey. I think that a couple of things that we have to be doing as much as we talk about, policy and elections and all of that, we've got personal work. So national protester Sandy just gifted you a subscription. Appreciate you, Sandy. So as much as we focus on organizing and elections and having these conversations, we have to also be on this parallel journey of bridging the gap in our communities and having conversations with people who share opposing views, who share differing views than what we do. And so the only way that we can do that is to have a real good look at ourselves, have a real good look at them, and then figure out how do we have these very meaningful conversations. Yeah, there's an Arizona special election in July. Perfect. So here's the thing. We have a spreadsheet that's in the Discord. Folks, for those of you who do not know, and you see me moving around like this, I've had 4 knee surgeries all on the right knee, and have quite some stuff going on with hips and back. So when you see me doing all that, just ignore it. It'll be all right. It is what it is. Just hurts after a while. So let me go back. With the workshops, the trainings that have been done so far, with the exception of one, is on my YouTube channel. So if you missed the training for Get Into Good Trouble, that is on my YouTube channel. It is at the Danny Cook. Appreciate it, Jenny. Right? If you missed the other training, which is 7 Steps for Resolution, is also in there as well. Cam, yeah, I know, Stacey D. Yeah, I actually have 2 in my cart that I was looking at. My niece got one, Cam, where it's got it's like a little thing that comes out from underneath it. I think they come like meditation office chairs where I can because I sit cross-legged all the time. So anyway, so those are in there. So I don't know. We'll see. You use that one? I have 2 of them in my cart right now. And yep. Yeah. So we'll see. What was I saying? Okay. Yeah. So the trainings, they are on the YouTube channel. The only one that's not in there right now, is the carve training. Yeah, so it'll be on the YouTube channel, Renee. Perfect, Cam. Appreciate it. Crisscross applesauce. Yes, Ton. That's the way I sit right now. It helps open up my hips. But anyway, so this is just my personal belief, and I know that this might be different than what a lot of the political folks out there are just talking about. The top 2 links on your link tree, what group will they be a part of? Phantom, I don't know what you're asking me. Did you like my very confused face? I don't know what you're asking me. So let me just, folks, it's really important if you can phone bank for Florida, do so. There is a reason. Oh, thanks, 1 mile. There is a reason that Trump has now said that Elise Stefanik isn't no longer going to be the nominee, right? For ambassador. It's because they are scared they are going to lose their majority in the Senate and in the House. And they're scared for good reason, because people on every side, independents, Republicans, Democrats, people don't like what they're seeing. Right. That's why you see me saying thank you to them right now, because I think that those folks are, believe it or not, I think that Trump and Elon and the GOP are actually unifying people. So what's up, Phantom? What were you asking me?
Well, I'm trying to make your link tree a little bit easier for some people to, organize out in their brain. So I'm applying your links and link tree to Discord. So I'm putting everything in groups. Okay. And the last 2 links that you put up today, they're not in a particular group. So
and they are not in a particular group because, hold on, I'm going to the link tree. So because the one that's okay, I'm going to take the saboteur assessment one. I'm going to archive it for now. And the reason why I'm going to archive it for now is because if people just randomly click it, they won't really know, because we were talking about it on the live that we were doing on Friday. And so I'm going to archive it for a second, and just turn it off for now. And the USDA. Where do I need to put that one?
Because I can set up like a random
I would say
thing as well for like just your random links, like the resource docs that you have on here.
Yep. That's good. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Appreciate you. 100%.
Great.
Yes. Thank you, Phantom. Phantom is
You're welcome.
amazing.
And let me know what you think about what I wrote in the 8 Seconds channel as well.
Okay, we'll do.
Right.
Awesome. So, and let me just tell you guys this. So about Phantom. So I'm going to disconnect you, but thank you. So listen, so there is an in the link tree, Jesus, in the Discord, there is now an 8-minute channel. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what that is. Give me a second, folks, and I'm going to answer your questions. Give me 1 second. Okay. Follow me on this real quick. Okay. So Simon Sinek is a guy that I really love his work, right? He does a lot of work in corporations, and he just comes from the place of, if you treat employees like whole human beings, you will get better performance out of them and all the other things, right? So thanks, Inman. Appreciate that. Thanks, Nabria. And I love his work. And so I had seen this clip of his on Facebook where he's talking to one of his friends, and she says she'd had such a horrible week. And he said, well, why didn't you reach out to me? Why didn't you tell me? She said, oh, I did. And he was like, no, you didn't. And he goes to his phone and he wheels out his phone and he starts looking. He said, you mean these texts where you said, hey, what are you doing? Want to hang out? Which is like every other text you normally send me. Is this what you mean? And she says, yeah. And he said, how am I supposed to know that this was a call for help? Right. And his friend had recently seen a study that said all people need is 8 minutes to know that they are not alone. It's not that you have to fix anything in 8 minutes. It's not that you have to say anything in 8 minutes. It's just all they need is 8 minutes with someone to be with them to know that you're not alone. And so they have an agreement. They made an agreement that anytime one of them really needed the other one and was going through something, then they would send a text that says, got 8 minutes with a question mark. So what Phantom is creating for us over in the Discord is a channel. It's an 8-minute channel. So if you find yourself really going through something, if you find yourself in a rough spot, if you find yourself, like I did last week, really needing some support, then you can pop up into that got 8 minute and you can act and people will join you so that you will be supported, right? And so Phantom is busy setting that up for me, and I will check the note that he put in there for me. But I just thought it would be a really cool thing. And that way, if people want to go from there to, a private chat or whatever, they can do that. But at least it gives people a way to come together and get support if they need it. Okay. And I want to make sure that I say this to folks, right? Well, I love that, Elizabeth. So gift ever to you live. You can appreciate with a response. I choose to sit. What? Aw. Thanks, Life on Purpose. It sent me a little notice and it said that you just gave me the first gift you've ever done on a live. And so that's really cool. Thanks. I appreciate you. Yeah. So because last week I had one of those moments. And I literally text Stacy D and said, you got 8 minutes. And I'm not kidding you all. Before I could even blink, I didn't get a text back. My phone rang. I literally said, you got 8 minutes, and my phone rang. And by the time we got off the phone, I was in a much better place. I felt, even though the issues that were there prior to that phone call were still there when I hung up, but it was just, I needed to not be alone. And let me just tell y'all this. Sometimes you can't talk to people that you've known forever. Sometimes, like if I were to call one of my friends about the thing that I was talking to Stacey D about, because they know all the people that were involved, they would have had something to say. Well, that hoe, da 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 da. Well, that bitch, da da da. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just need new friends sometimes, right? But yeah, no, Stacey D held me down 100%. Okay, so Janito says there's a Turner seat in Texas and Royal Grijalva in Arizona are 2 seats in addition to the 2 Florida seats, right? So, yeah, Kiki, sometimes just to listen. So yeah, so there's going to be an 8-minute channel in the Discord. Okay. Appreciate you, Alex. Right. Yeah. Like this is the thing, right? I want everybody to remember that it hasn't even been 100 days yet. We're not through the first 100 days. So, take some deep breaths as we move through this, right? It's okay, Galactic. No, it has not been 100 days. It has not been 100 days, people. Listen, the inauguration was January, 20th? Is that right? This is just March 30th, guys. We're just at like 7, 8 weeks. 8, 9 weeks. Yeah, I'm sure. Right? Yeah, I'm sure. So, so the reason why I'm saying that is so that folks can take a minute to breathe. 69 days. Right. So it's important that you make sure that you are getting in some self-care. Make sure, like, literally it's right. We're halfway there. But I literally want you to be thinking about what do you need to be doing for self-care? How do you, kind of make sure that you stay grounded? Do the things that are necessary. So, I'll tell you this. So a friend of mine, really amazing guy, friend of mine, and his partner, he's originally from New York, and he talks all the time. Yeah, I have a therapist too. But he talks all the time about back in the 70s and 80s. And, he lost a lot of his friends to AIDS back in the 80s, right? But he talks about like during the protests and all of those things, and about the club that he used to go to, right? And they would dance all night, right? Bury their friends in the morning, protest all afternoon, and dance all night, right? And so the other day, I see this little reel on Facebook, and this gay guy is talking, and he says, listen, he says, I was thinking about the other day, I was talking to some friends of mine, and they talked about that's how they got through. That's how they got through, right? Was the dancing at night. It was the dancing that got them through, because they would bury their friends in the morning, right? They would protest all afternoon, and then they would dance all night. And it was the dancing. He said, so you may be thinking that, am I allowed to find some joy? Am I allowed to, dance? Am I allowed? And he said, you better listen, go out, do a twirl, dance a jig, like go out. And I sent that to my friend the other day, and he was like, oh my God, I love this. And I was like, so this is the thing that I'm saying to you, right? Is whatever it is that you need that's going to get you through. Okay. Because there's a lot to get through. There's a lot of mourning that we have, right? There's a lot of things that we are mourning, but I want you all to try something on for me for a second. The same way that I'm saying thank you to MAGA, thank you to Trump, thank you to Elon, thank you to the GOP. I want you to think about something. All the stuff that they are trying to get rid of right now, all the stuff that they are trying to tear down are systems that we know haven't been equitable up until now. So not only do we have the opportunity to save them and protect them, but we now have an opportunity to make them better. We have the opportunity to make them equitable. We have the opportunity, right, to look at the Department of Education and say, okay, what's not working? And what do we need to do? And how do we ensure it works? And do we need to put in legislation and policy within the Department of Education that states exactly its purpose, not its presumptive purpose, not right, Cam, identify the gaps. We now can see where the loopholes exist. And now we get to fill them. Now we get to correct them. Now we get to, this is the work. And this should be exciting work. Not, listen, there's this great analogy. A reporter was talking to these NBA playoff superstars, right? And the question was, don't you get nervous before a game? And the guy says, nervous? Nah, I don't get nervous. And he said, I used to, but not anymore. And then she said, well, what did you do different? He said, well, think about it. When you're nervous, what happens to your body? You get butterflies in your stomach, your palms get sweaty, your heart palpitates, you might break out into a sweat. That's what happens when you get nervous. But what happens when you get excited? Your palms get sweaty, your heart palpitates, you might get butterflies in your stomach, right? Same thing. And he said, so what I learned to do is to remind myself that my body doesn't dictate what I feel. My body responds, and my brain gets to determine what emotion I label it as. I can have the same physical symptoms, but I get to rewire it to mean something different. So when I get the butterflies in my stomach, instead of making it mean that I'm anxious, I get to make it mean that I'm excited. When my heart starts palpitating, instead of making it mean that I'm scared, I can make it mean that I'm excited. Right? So right now, you can make all of this mean that the worst thing impossible is happening. Or you can make it mean that we get to make it better. We get to fix the loopholes. We get to make it equitable. What do we get to do for our children with the Department of Education? Right? So that's what we get to choose. That's what we get to choose. And so it's up to every single one of us what you want to make it mean. Right? So we get to choose how we build things back. We get to choose who we put into these positions. What are the leaders? Who are the leaders? What do they look like? These are all things that we get to choose. So, Elizabeth, here's the thing. I have zero expectations. So one of the things that I remind myself about expectations is this. Anytime I feel disappointment in someone, thanks, Cheryl. Anytime I feel disappointed, I have to ask myself, is my disappointment because of an unrealized expectation? And if it is, the very next question is this: Did the other person agree to the expectation? Did they say, yes, this is a reasonable expectation to have of me? Because if they did not agree to the expectation, I did that to myself. And I think that this is different. So I think that this is where Native American, African American, I think this is where Indigenous people, I think it's where Black and Brown people are having a different experience than many white Americans right now. Because I think that many white Americans have had this expectation of what to expect from their government. And many Black and Brown people have never had that expectation. Black and Brown people do not expect for white people in government to be treated the same as Black people in government, because that's not a thing. Right? But Adi Lee, again, you have to, it's not about, following the Constitution is an expectation that we would hope to see in all of our elected officials. But at the same time, not in this one, because we know better. They didn't follow the Constitution the first time around. Right? So like what you're saying right now is being able to expect an elected official to follow the Constitution is being able to expect the police to follow the law. And Black and Brown people know and have known for a very long time that ain't a thing that happens always. Right? It is why I think that, and I do think so, Peacekeeper, I still think so. So, what Peacekeeper is reminding me of is something that I said a while back. And whenever someone is sick and they're ill, right? You see that one last rise before the end happens. You know what I'm talking about? You know how when somebody is like in the hospital and thanks, Metal Rabbit, and they're knocking on the door, and all of a sudden they seem to have this rebirth, and all of a sudden they're revitalized, and then shortly after that they unalive, right? I believe that that's what this is. It's that last burst. This is the last big burst of energy around racism, because the majority of the country isn't for that. Catherine, I don't look white, and I'm not white. Maybe my light's up very bright, but no, I'm not white. You're the first person to ever tell me that I'm white passing. I kind of don't think you're a little disingenuous, but Oh, Catherine has said a couple of other things. Catherine has asked, is this an educational or entertainment purposes? I don't think that Catherine is whatever. But listen, I'm not worried about Catherine at all. Yeah, Renee. So Catherine, she said a few things. So Catherine, I sent you an invitation to join the panel. Feel free to come up. Let's chat. Oh, thanks, Brooke. Appreciate it. Of course you did, Red Hot. I would expect nothing less. But seriously speaking, you all, I wonder what happens if everyone shifts their energy. What if people shift their energy to a place of gratitude and starts looking for how we make things the place that we want them to be? What happens when we do that? What happens? I'm grateful for where we are right now in this moment. Thanks, Wit. I'm very grateful where we are in this moment. Big energy shift, Sharon. Bella and I, so I'm a big nature girl, right? I'm a big nature girl. And so I happen to believe that nature is one of the best teachers that we could ever hope to have. Okay. And so, like I look at the moon, right? Right, Lulu? But I look at the moon and it cycles, right? And so I look at the fact that, after the full moon, we go through a waning period where we can let go of all the stuff that ain't working for us, that doesn't serve us, that all of that, right? And we get to the new moon after we've let go of all of that crap, right? And, well, honey, you earned this little block right here. Whew. You put in some work to earn that block. Happy to oblige. But follow me. Once you get to that new moon, now it's about what am I going to create new, right? What do I get to create new? So even if I keep a project that I've been working on, maybe I do something new. Maybe I try a new approach. Maybe I get rid of, I blocked her, y'all. I blocked her. She's gone. Catherine's gone. But think about that, right? And so I sat down with no, Max, not that I'm aware of. I can't imagine that Stefanik would resign at all. But so follow me. So y'all know that this past weekend was the new moon, right? So I sat down with Bella. And so what I like to do on the new moon, this is just me. I like to, thanks, Tina. I like to sit back on the new moon and I like to think about what are the things that I want to create? What do I want to manifest? What do I want to bring into being? Right. And so Bella, as you all know, is my miracle grandbaby. She is the one that was born weighing 1 pound and 3 ounces at birth. And so Saturday night, it was just Bella and I here because Mila had been on one and I sent her ass home with her mama. This was Friday night, actually. And so I sent her home. Thanks, Evelyn. But so Bella and I are sitting up here. And so she sees me writing down things that I want to manifest. And she says, Tutu, I can write some down. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And she goes, And she's thinking. And then she says, I want us to have, right, Donna Ski. She said, I want us to have a clean earth and for good things to happen. Yeah, she was born at 26 weeks, 1 pound and 3 ounces. She was in the NICU for 91 days, folks. And so she says, I want us to have a clean earth and for good things to happen. And I said, okay. So she's writing it down and doing the deal. And we're talking, and I said, we can put it in a little envelope. And so we did. And so I said, now, do you want to put it in your bag and carry it with you so you can think about it at times? Or do you want to sleep and put it under your pillow? And she says, put it under my pillow. I said, okay, cool. And so then she says, so we're sitting there and we're just talking. And I said, yeah, they do, red hot. And so we're sitting here, and while we're doing it, I had some incense burning or something, and I hear her saying, I would like for us to have a clean earth and for good things to happen. And she's just repeating it. And so, and so she says, Tutu, so this is how we make things happen. And I said, well, yeah. I said, you set your intention and you put it out, you put out your energy that you want good things to happen. And I said, and do you know what? And she said, what? And I said, so did you know that right now there are millions of people all around the world that are sending out good things that they want to create too, because it's a full moon. And so they're doing it too. And she goes, really? And I said, yeah. And she said, so it's all of our energy together. And I said, yeah. And I said, and that's why our energy is more powerful. And so she says, so it's like 10 minutes goes by. And then out of the blue, she looks at me. She says, Tutu, is Kamala Harris good? And I said, huh? And she said, is Kamala Harris good? And I said, well, I mean, yeah, for the most part, yeah, right? And she said, I said, why do you ask? And she goes, And I said, you don't want to tell me why you ask? And then she said, well, because I was thinking about her when I was thinking about something good happening, that she could be a good president. And I said, yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? And she said, yeah, I just wanted to make sure she was good since I was and I said, yeah. And then her next thing was, so Gigi, can I add something else? And I said, yeah. And she said, I want to add that I want, in addition to a clean earth, she said, I want all people to have shelter. These are her words: shelter, food, and water. And I said, ooh, that's a really good one, sis. That's a really good one. Let's do that one. And I said, see, I said, so, and I was showing her, I said, so listen, when you just take a deep breath, when you put all that goodness out into the universe, right? And she goes, and Tutu, when we all do that, we have more good energy than the bad people trying to do bad things. And I said, that's right, buddy. That's right. That is right. And I love that. I love that she gets. So the next day she asked me, she says, Tutu, how long before the things we wish come true? I said, baby, I don't know, but that's why we just do it over and over again, right? And we add to it and we whatever. And then we don't just wish it. We got to do the work to help make those things happen, right? We don't just got to wish it. We got to do the work to make it happen, right? And, and so she was like, okay, Tutu. And so she gets it. But, right, the anticipation of a child. But, it's why I talk to them about, don't say that, glitzy girl. Don't say that, glitzy girl. Because this is the thing. We have a saying around these parts. We do not say things that we do not want to be so. So I'm going to say as soon as it can, right? Rather than say it's going to be a lifetime or two. No, thank you. I don't want it to be a lifetime. If I don't see it in my lifetime, I definitely hope she sees it in her lifetime, right? Yeah, metal rabbit, 100%. So listen, this is the thing. Remember, so a friend of mine said, the universe is always working in your favor. It always listens. Thank you, Phantom. Appreciate you. Right? So if I know that to be true, if I know that's true, whether that's because you believe that God makes it work in your favor, whether it's because you believe that the earth just works in your favor, or energy just works in your favor, whatever it is that you believe in. But if you believe that it is always working for your highest and greatest good, whatever, but if you believe that, then that means so is this. So is what's happening right now. The thing is we have to find the highest and greatest in it. We have to find, right, you got to shift that shit. That's what we say all the time, Merlot, right? You got to shift how you look at it. And so for me, I'm looking at, okay, fine. You want to stop this? Guess what you're doing? Every cut you make, you are proving to people just how much we want a Department of Education. With everything that you take away, with every threat that you make to children and to old people and to the elderly and to the poor and to the unhealthy, everything that you do, all you're doing is showing people just how much we do want to take care of each other, just how much we do want to be together, just how much we do want democracy, just how much racism has gone away, right? Y'all get that, right? Thank you, Linda. You all get that, right? So this is the place where we are. So now, having said all of that, you might find me on a day with a comment that could still get you cussed the fuck out. Because sometimes it happens, right? There's room for all things. Okay, right, Lulu. But my point is, it's not like I'm a human being, right? So it's not going to be the all the time. Oh yeah, no, I 100%. I am 100% convinced of what I just said. Right, that's the human shift. Right, Linda. Yeah. Folks, let me just tell y'all something. I do believe that there is more good than bad in this world. 100% I believe it. I believe that we have been taught as human beings to focus more on bad. We have. Y'all got me, right? Bad reviews get more on the algorithm. Bad lives get more views, right? Y'all think about it. The negative shit, we spread it more. And so we have to flip that. We have to flip that. And that's completely up to us. It is 100% completely up to us. And the place that I am at is very simple. If you want to come along, then you can come too. Everyone is welcome. And I'm not dragging nobody. I'm not going to let you drown me in the process. You follow me? I'm not doing it. I told y'all the other day, I will come down into the basement with you once or twice and bring you out. But I'm not staying in the basement with you. I'm not. You can come along. And it doesn't matter who you are. In the last week and a half, I have let go of family. No kidding. In the last week and a half, I have let go of, and I'm okay with it. I am okay with burning it down at this point. Because I'm not staying here. And I am not leaving this for them. My grandbabies will not inherit this shit show. Absolutely not. We will get it together. Oh, you did? That's an old poem, boy. That was from 2009 when I had not done my work yet. I was just starting to do my work. But you follow me, folks? And I'm never going to be on one end or the other all the time. You might see me fired up, righteously angry, and telling you about yourself. You might. Yes, Jen Pen. And then you might see me practicing carve, meeting you with compassion, meeting you with vulnerability, meeting you with authenticity. You might, all of those things, because that's what it is to be a human being. And different things are needed at different times. I drank all what I had. I need some more water, don't I? Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right. So, yeah, I'm not doing negative anymore, Wendy. I can't do it. I can't. I'm going to call a thing, 100%. I'm going to call a thing, and I will come up alongside anyone. Absolutely anyone. You voted for Trump and you regret it? Great, come talk. You voted for Trump and you're terrified of all these changes, and now you want to find out facts? Come see us. You didn't vote at all, and now you are absolutely terrified of what's going to happen to Palestine and what's happening in Gaza or what's happening in Ukraine, and you're worried about the fate of the country, and you're worried about Medicaid, and you're worried about Social Security, and you didn't vote. Come talk. Come see us. Nobody's going to condemn you. Thanks, Gloria. Right? We are about human beings over here, first and foremost. Let me say this. I don't care what shade you are. I don't care whether you are an atheist, agnostic, Christian, Buddhist, Sikh, Muslim, spiritualist, Satanist, witch, whatever. I don't care. If you are coming from a place of love, if you are interested in humanity and being kind and people having basic human rights, this is the place for you. If you believe that people and children are more important than corporations and billionaires, this is the place for you. If you want to see a Congress and state legislatures that are putting forth policy that's actually for human beings and people, this is the place for you. If you want to know how to have conversations about tough subjects and you're not sure how to talk about policy, this is the place for you. You want to do your own work because all of us have work to do, this is the place for you. This is it. Right, Cam? If you want community, this is the place. This is the place to do it. You watch 13th? Yeah, Kaki, we're going to do a viewing as well for that. So book club, the book starts on the 6th, right? Thanks, Natalie. Right, Trisha, you're welcome. So remember, parallel journeys. Part of it is the policies. It's the policies, it's the politicians, the public servants. Right, Cam, we haven't. And so the last one that we did was 13th. It was 13th, and it maybe was about what, guys? When did we do 13th? Maybe about 4 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I want to say we did a viewing for 13th. So it's that part. It's the political piece. It's the organizing piece. It's the that, right? What's up, Slick Nasty? Then the second part of that is us as people. Are we part of the problem? Are we giving people space? Are we even giving people space to regret their vote? Right? Right, Carol. All right. So here we go. Couple things. One, workshop this Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Blind spot, hidden biases. I'll be leading that workshop. Okay. If you are a subscriber, we will have a Zoom book club on Blind Spot. All I'm asking you to do is have read the introduction by this Sunday. I will throw the link to the calendar invite in the subscribers. Appreciate you, Brandy. In the subscribers Discord, I will put that there. Next, I will schedule 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, Titus. Yes. I will also put a link. The author is Banaji and Greenwald. Can you see it, Cheryl? There you go. Screenshot that. It's Blind Spot, Hidden Biases of Good People. Okay. Next, we will do another screening of 13th. We have several movies we need to do together, several documentaries that we need to do. So I'll get a list of those and I'll put them on the calendar and I'll start posting them. Oh, thanks, Farah. I wish the girls were up to see the fairy wings. They would love the wings. In addition to that, we have a Google spreadsheet where we have been listing all of the unopposed races. We need to get that update, and I have a Google form for you. Things are about to really kind of accelerate where I'm concerned and what I'm doing with subscribers. So let me just tell you, get your life, folks, and connect coaching, folks. We will have a meet in the next week because we have a lot of work to do. If you are open to doing organizing in your local communities, be thinking about what that looks like for you. If you're a phone banker, if you're a postcard writer, if you're a letter to the editor writer, what does that look like for you? There's a bunch of... Yeah. So Dale, let me just say this. Okay. Be careful how much you consume of the negative stuff. You know, there are sometimes when people say, don't look away. And here's what I will say to you is it's okay to look away sometimes. It doesn't mean that you don't know that you don't know it's there. It doesn't mean that you're not doing your work. It doesn't mean that you're not, trying to make things better, right? Don't let someone shame you into re-traumatizing yourself. It is okay to not consume all the suffering. You hear me? It is okay to not consume all the suffering. It's perfectly acceptable to take a step back. Be informed, not overwhelmed. It's really important. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't consume a ton. I can't. If I consumed all of the stuff out there, I could not be in this space and I could not be who I need to be in this moment. Okay. So, what do I need to leave you guys with? Yeah. Listen, the goal is shock and awe, and we're not going to do that. Listen, I had headphones on, cobble job. I had my headphones on today. Y'all know I like a lot of you're teary-eyed. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, folks, I had music on my ears today. I was deep cleaning my house and all the things because it's what I needed. right? Do what you need to do. Like I said, we're not even at 100 days yet. Now, here's what I want to leave you all with. We're not even in 100 days yet. And they've already had to say, oh shit, we need to keep some of these people in Congress before we lose our majority. It ain't even been 100 days. Cobble, I can't with you. You hear me? It hasn't even been 100 days. And they are struggling already. It hasn't been 100 days. They done leaked shit on Signal. It hasn't been 100 days. They've already shown us the gap between the VP and the president. It hasn't been 100 days. Y'all following me? You're confused? Because, okay, so follow me, tens. I am thankful. MAGA, Trump, Elon, and the GOP have, yes, Cindy, I'm sure. The reason I say thank you to them is because they have demonstrated to a lot of people who weren't aware that 100% democracy is something that has to be preserved, protected, and actively participated in. Thanks to MAGA, thanks to Trump, thanks to Elon, thanks to the GOP, people are starting to understand just how much they value the Department of Education, how important public education is. Thanks to these guys, right? People are now understanding just how much people do want Medicaid and Medicare and you see what I'm saying? Thanks, Sandy, for gifting Metal Rabbit. So yeah, the reason we say thank you to these people, right? The reason we say thank you to these individuals, for you guys down here, it's this. For you guys right here, it's this, is because all of this is working for our highest good. We now get to see the loopholes and close them. Yeah, Grace, and I will. And so now we get to see what that looks like. Okay. So I will be on tomorrow. Should be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, you're there, Metal Rabbit. It's there right beside your name. It says Danny and it has a little star with a heart in it. That means you're subscribed. Okay. Now, right, Phantom. I appreciate you so much. Oh no, Uka, I'm going to. So listen, it might not be 11 a.m. It might not be until noon or so. Because I've got stuff that I want to get together before I go live tomorrow. And then I've got to see when I can get. So I'm bringing one of my rural folks on with us who's going to come and talk to us about the $1 billion that's been taken away from food pantries and schools and so forth and all of those types of things. So we can talk some more about it. Okay. Yeah. So here's the Kristen, we're not going to hope. We're going to make sure that there are laws put in place because we're going to help write them and we're going to help get our representatives to introduce them, vote on them, and pass them. We're not going to hope. We're going to hope and do the work. We're not just going to hope. We're going to hope and do the damn work to bring it to fruition. Okay. So I appreciate you all a whole hell of a lot. I really do. When you subscribe, when you gift, when you follow, when you like, when you share, all those things help. And I really am truly grateful. So I want to kick things up a notch. I really want us to become a massive ass movement that does really good things. She's about to sleepwalk. She fell asleep on the floor, got up, and was like this, sleepwalking. She was asleep. She just fell asleep on the floor, is what it was. And she got up and was like, she didn't know where she was going. Yeah. So do you know what she and Bella, I'm gonna tell you all this and then we're gonna go. She and Bella they ask me every night because when they go to sleep, I'm still up. Oftentimes I'm either live with you all or I'm working. And so they always say, Tutu, how long you're gonna come snuggle with us? That's the question that I get all the time. That's what you heard her. She walked over just a minute ago before she fell asleep and she said, you snuggle with me and my sister? Yes, I'm going to snuggle with you and your sister. So, locked out. All right. Appreciate you guys. Um, oof. Okay. I see messages. I'm just going to let y'all know I'm not going to answer no more messages tonight. I will answer messages in Discord tomorrow. Love y'all. Mean it. I will see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you very, very much. I'll see y'all later.